Hello, everyone. Welcome to our weekly webinars to jumpstart your metabolism. Rex, are you there, my friend?
Hey, I am. Hey, Happy New Year. I hope everybody's excited about tonight. Mark, this is going to be an incredible night.
I agree. Now, let's do a quick audio check before we dive into it. Everyone can just type in how the audio sounds. Want to make sure that Rex and I sound good for you. Loud and clear, Lori. Great. Okay, perfect. Okay, I love it. So we're really excited about these webcasts. We kicked them off last week. I'm gonna do a quick recap, but before that, I just want to share with you that it's been fun. Rex and I have been hanging out together. He's now in Vancouver, but we were together for 5 straight days in Atlanta. We were playing ping pong at my house. We rocked the Atlanta event. Just so inspired by people's actions and their commitment to their health, and to see how people wanted to turbocharge their January and really make their resolutions stick this year, not just with their body, but with their mind. What did you think about this past weekend in Atlanta, Rex?
You know, I think it started really last Thursday night when we were all together on the call, and people really this year, I think, Mark, truthfully, claiming more of who they are. They want their life to be fuller and richer, and they know it's not enough just to have a big idea and vision and goal, but they really need the health, the body to enjoy it. So, you know what I love about being with you, and anytime we start talking about health, you know, I get hungry. I get excited for more and to really take better advantage of the body and the temple that I have. And, you know, I think about all these people that are on the line. Some of them, you know, are customers. They take our products. And other people are they build with these products a business and a lifestyle to help other people. And so tonight I think it is going to be I know the information you bring is just so rich and so full. And I want to say thank you for letting me be a part of these, because my own family, we grow, Mark. You not only just help us look up and see something that's great that we can have, but you help every single one of us on this call really reach up as a mentor and be able to live this healthy lifestyle. So thank you very, very much, my friend. Thank you.
Thanks, brother. And it goes right back to you. We're best friends. We're brothers. And what's most important is everyone on this call, it's you inspire each of us. So let's dive right into it. It's been a lot of fun this past 5 days, and now we're going to take it to another level this week. So let me kind of give you the theme of what we have. 4 more of these webinars that we're doing, and kind of let's every webcast, this is going to be the flow. Our goal is to be done by 9:30 Eastern time, so 30 minutes in and out with an introduction, and really look at how you can build this January and take it to another level. Now, every week we're going to assign new tasks for you. Now, we're not going to bombard you with information, but assign new tasks for you. And then we'll do a quick recap. So I'm going to do a quick recap here from last week. Last week was all about turbocharging your January. It's our kickoff on Thursday. We focused on shifting your mindset 1% at a time. We then talked about knowing your food is your foundation. There's no workout that can outwork a bad diet. And then the third thing that we spoke about was to love your exercise. And that was the body side of it. And then Rex came in with his magic, really focusing on inspiration in the mind. Now, if you're new, if you weren't on last week, I want to show you a couple links that you'd go to. You'd go to MonaVie.com, just look at your screen. And when you hit MonaVie.com, under the products, and this is something you can share with your friends, your family, because we want as many people as possible to start this turbocharge their January, be on these webcasts. But under products, you simply click on Reveal Jumpstart. And when you do that, it's going to take you to this web page right here. And if you see this web page, very simple. It shows you exactly what the turbocharge offering is. It allows you to do the download the turbocharger flyer, download the 28-day jumpstart guide, which is a cool plan to show you what a day looks like, what your portion sizes should be, so you can eat the food you love, implement the MonaVie products at the right time, when it fits it, when it really fills your gaps, and then what your exercise plan would be, and your water plan, and your supplement plan. All of that in 2 pages, front and back, total of 4 pages that sets you up to win. And then you can simply purchase a kit. Now, anyone who gets on this kit in January, anytime in January, not only do you get the products, you're also going to get a dietary supplement, which is a phenomenal fat burner. You get a copy of my New York Times bestselling book, Body Confidence. You're going to get a copy of the Revolution booklet. And obviously, you come directly to these webcasts for live coaching. So that is the recap. And let me just scroll back up here. That is a recap from last week. So, you know, our goal last week was to be really, really simple and having all of you Get crystal clear on what your plan's going to be to start up. Now, with that being said, years ago, I had a client come to me, and she was eating well and she was doing this. Her mindset was clean, her food was good, and she was enjoying her exercise. But the problem is that she still wasn't progressing. And I had to dig deeper, and I said, man, why is that? And what I realized, and many of you who have read Body Confidence know, is that it's not really what you eat, it's what you metabolize. And if your sleep is not in check, your body and your metabolism, it just is not going to burn body fat. It's going to make you store belly fat, and it's just not going to work for you. So the whole goal of this week's webinar is very simple. We're not going to bombard you with a ton of information. What the theme's going to be is about, I'm going to address sleep from the body perspective, and Rex is going to address sleep from the mind perspective. Our goal is that we set up the foundation last webcast, and if you didn't hear that, you can hear the recorded version. Now, this webcast, we want you to master your sleep. And as you keep building upon what you learned last week, you're now going to make this week your sleep. So I want everyone right now to get a piece of paper out, and I want you to write, master my sleep. Okay, that's going to be your theme for from this Wednesday till next Wednesday. And right now on that piece of paper, on a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being the highest, 1 being the lowest, I want you to write down, and please add this to the webcast. What do you rate your sleep right now as it is? Is it a 10? Is it a 8? Is it a 3? The quality of your sleep, rate that right now if you could. A 2. We have a 2. We have a 7. We have an 8. We have a 7. We have an 8. We have a 1. We have a 6. We have a 3. We have a 5. We have a 3. We have a 5. Okay, perfect. We have a 1. So obviously, we're seeing that there's improvement. Everyone needs a little bit of improvement. Some people need a little bit more than others. So our goal this webcast is to lay down the foundational pieces with your body and your mind that you can immediately own your sleep and improve it by at least 3 notches this next week. And then as we turbocharge January, you just continue to improve upon it. Okay, so let's dive right into that. So when we talk about mastering your sleep, let's just look at what sleep is first. Okay, so as I shared, it's not what you eat, it's what you metabolize. Let's look about how does your body process sleep? So sleep's the way your body is going to rejuvenate your body and your mind. And you have 4 stages of sleep. You have stage 1 and 2, that's that light sleep. So as you're starting to drift off, that twilight sleep, that's light sleep. That really doesn't do much for your body. It kind of prepares your body for deep sleep. Now, your deep sleep is at stage 3 and 4. Now, any of you have children out there, when kids start twitching, they're starting to enter deep sleep. Now, deep sleep is what repairs your body. Now, once you hit deep sleep, you then move into REM sleep after 90 minutes. By about 75 to 80 minutes, you enter REM sleep. And that's rapid eye movement. And that's that dream state. And that repairs your mind. And then after about 90 minutes, the cycle repeats itself. Now, the challenge is that when we look at mastering your sleep, a lot of times people might sleep a long period of time, but they're not getting strong deep sleep, or they're not getting strong REM sleep. And if you're not getting good deep or REM sleep, you're in trouble. A lot of times, many of you might raise your hand here right now if you wake up in the middle of the night because your mind's racing. A lot of time that's because as you go right through the cycle, you enter that light sleep again. That's what triggers you to awaken. So there's going to be 3 simple things that's going to help you immediately master your sleep from a physiological perspective. Okay, so let's start with setting a schedule. Now, I know many of you on this call right now have kids. Now, I want us to think about it. I've always talked about eating in threes. When you eat in threes, a baby feeds that way from the moment they take their first breath. They eat every 3 hours. They have a balance of protein, fat, carbs from breast milk. They stop eating when they're satisfied. They eat again when they're hungry. Then as parents, what do? We have to get our kids on a sleep schedule. And we create this whole routine. We bathe them. We read to them. We let them go to sleep. And then they stay on that schedule. And we put them to bed at the same time. And they wake up at the same time. And as parents, we clearly know that if we fall off that schedule, what happens? They wake up later. And immediately within 1 to 2 days, they're off the schedule out of the gate. So setting a schedule as we do with our kids, for some reason, we forget that as adults. If you don't have a schedule, like a sleep schedule, what's going to end up happening is you're going to be irregular with your quality of sleep, and that's going to directly affect your metabolism. I want everyone to clearly know that your sleep is what recharges your body and your mind and balances your hormones, not just your food, not just your exercise. So we have to set a schedule. So ideally, what you want to do is you want to say, okay, how many hours of sleep do I need? So if you need 7 hours and you go to bed at 11 every night, you want to wake up at 6 every night, 6 every morning. Now, if you go to sleep later, let's say it's a weekend and you want to have fun and you go to sleep at 1 a.m., okay, that's fine. I mean, you got to live. You still want to wake up at 6, and that puts you 2 hours in the hole of the 7 hours you need. So all you need to do is the following night go to bed an hour earlier, the night after go to bed an hour earlier, and you make up that sleep. That sets you up to win. So the first step to master your sleep is you need to set a schedule, plus or minus an hour, but really focus on that schedule. Second one, sleep in a dark and quiet environment. Dark environment's important because a part of your brain, you have a gland called the pineal gland. And in that gland, you release melatonin. And melatonin is your body's sleep hormone. If you look up to the whatever room you're in right now, the lights are on most likely. If the lights are on, then your body is inhibiting the release of melatonin. When the lights are out, that actually makes your body release melatonin. So sleeping in a dark environment allows you to release max amount of your body's sleep hormone. Now, a quiet environment matters too. Many people tell me, Mark, I got to sleep with the TV on. That's okay. If you need to sleep with the TV on, just set it on a timer. Why is that? As I talked about earlier, we have cycles of sleep. If you have a TV on, and let's say you're watching Sports Center for all the guys on the call, if you're watching sport, and ladies who love sport, if you're watching Sports Center, there's a big voice differential in highlights and the experts that are talking. So what ends up happening when you enter that light sleep again, that noise can wake you up. So you want to sleep in a dark and quiet environment. Now, if you have a noise machine, then that would be okay because that's one steady, consistent beat or tone. So set a schedule, sleep in a dark and quiet environment, and this is a big one. Forget the snooze button. This is what happens when you hit the snooze button. Every minute or second of sleep, I know people are saying, what are you talking about, Mark? Every second of sleep you get after that snooze button is wasted sleep. It doesn't count. So what ends up happening is people hit that snooze button for an hour. They lose an hour of sleep. And because of that, that causes them to be an hour in the hole, at least with their sleep, which then triggers the hormones to be imbalanced, which causes their stress hormone cortisol to rise and is a number one contributor to belly fat. So everyone on this webinar that feels like they have some belly fat they want to lose, I want you to ask yourself, are you using the snooze button? Ideally, what you want to do is once the alarm goes off, you get up. If you think that you have that 30 extra minutes of time, set your alarm 30 minutes later then, because you lose every second of sleep will only put you in stage 1 or 2 after that snooze button. You cannot get back into deep sleep. It just won't happen. It keeps going off. It's useless sleep. So make sure, I love it. People are saying, me, guilty. I love that. People do that. I've done it. And then once I realized the science behind it, that you lay down belly fat, you got to stop that. So right there, here we go. We have your foundation. Your mindset's 1%. Food's your foundation. You got a jumpstart plan that everyone could do, not just you, but everyone in your family. You're loving your exercise. And now, this week, you're building upon that foundation and you're mastering your sleep. Very simple. You've already rated where it is. You know we're going to increase that by 3 notches this week. You're going to focus on setting a schedule right after the webcast tonight. You're going to make sure that you're sleeping in a dark and quiet environment. And this snooze button becomes history. If you can take this on, you're set up to win. Now, before I give this webinar over to my dear friend Rex Crane, I want to remind of why I've partnered with MonaVie and why Rex has partnered with MonaVie. I love products. I've shared that. And one of the biggest parts when we look at the Jumpstart plan and we look at the MonaVie products is that MonaVie creates products that fills the gaps. MonaVie makes 2 products to help you sleep. Balance, which is in the Jumpstart plan, not only addresses your stress levels from a cortisol, it also has a PM tablet, which helps you get into a deeper, higher quality sleep. In addition, we launched Rest as well. And Rest puts you into a deeper, higher quality sleep. What I love about Rest is that when you implement Rest, and I have a little bit of protein with it when I have that because it does have carbs, so I make sure I balance that out. That's my bedtime meal. But what I see when I use Rest is I get a deeper, stronger sleep in a shorter period of time. And the same thing with balance. I use rest and balance every single night before bed. Both of them make me feel like I get higher quality sleep, wake up fresher, ready to take on the day. So there you go. You implement the right strategies, you implement the right products, and this is how you really take your body and health to another level in January as we are turbocharging. Now, to address the mind, my dear friend, Mr. Rex Crane. Take it away, brother.
Mark, I love the insight, man. I'm sitting there thinking, man, you're even hitting some spots for me. And then some of these things that you're sharing with all of our community tonight and our culture, man, you've shared some of these things with me, and it's made a difference. So I hope that those of you that are out there tonight and you're listening, wherever you may be, you put these things into work for you so that these things really do work for you, and they're able to contribute to a greater dimension of your overall well-being and success. And, you know, Mark, what was amazing to me as I was studying the subject today is that even according to Harvard, they say that your performance and your success have so much in common with how you sleep and how well you sleep, or the deficiency of it. They actually are saying that if you sleep 5 times a week, 6 to 8 hours, that the benefits, you operate out of a great peak mind. You have the ability to make incredible decisions. You actually slow your aging, which every single one of us, I believe, wants to do because it actually stimulates your human growth hormone. It actually aids in, you know, your ability to control your appetite. And they say it boosts your immunity, which I know every single one of us want in our life. And it actually energizes us when we take on the day. And I know every one of us wants to wake up feeling alive, full of passion and energy and taking on the day. So as I looked upon the benefits of sleep and I started looking at how the mind can come in and function, I was reminded of a proverb. It says, a calm and undisturbed mind are the life and the health of the body. Man, that's the truth. The calm and undisturbed mind and heart are the life of the body, the health of the body. I think that because so many minds of our minds are racing all the time. We have so much to do on our to-do list. We have so many places to go, people, things to do, achievements, demands to fulfill, obligations to, fulfill as well. And so much of by the time we get down and get ready to go to sleep, we have so much on our head that our sleep is what Mark talked about. The first two cycles of sleep where we never get into a deep sleep. We never get into a place where our bodies have a chance to really rejuvenate for us, work for us, so we wake up that next day feeling great. I'd be interested right now, how many of you woke up the last 3 days just feeling fully energized, ready to tackle the day? I would probably say probably about 70% probably didn't. They felt sluggish, tired. And how can we really control that? I think Mark gave us some phenomenal ideas. And something that MonaVie has been really a big partner in just helping Rex Crane are these products of the balance. And I can't even stress this enough. I take this product consistently because this product actually allows me, Mark, to get into a better sleep. So I thought about what would be like a 3-way formula for people to get into a sleep ritual where that would really work for them, that on a night in, night out, because really you need 5 days a week where this ritual and this habit becomes ingrained, where you live this as a lifestyle. Because obviously you need a couple days to, be free, go a little bit beyond. But 5 nights a week where this is a habit, where you really master it this week, as Mark said. I thought, what are 3 keys? And number 1, I would say, you know what? Clear your mind of your to-do list. Man, every one of us all day, has things that we, whether mentally or we jot them down, we didn't fulfill in that day. And it's easy to harbor those things, take those things to bed with us. But the reality is, if we don't make a note that we're going to do it on another day, or we don't actually take the time to cognitively make that decision that, it's okay to not get these things done, what happens is that's an actual emotional and psychological weight that you carry to sleep, and it actually interferes with the ability to get into a deep sleep, which really helps you. So I always want to think about my to-do list. There's always things I didn't fulfill on my list. There's always things that I never got to. But the ability to say, you know what, before I go to bed, and I try to do this every night, say, you know what, I didn't do everything, but I did some very valuable things today. That alone lets me feel good about my day, and it lets me feel that it's okay to not do everything. Remember, you're a human being, not a human doing. Second of all, I think a great part to do in your ritual when you do that and you're clearing your mind of your to-do list is clear the clutter. And what do I mean by that? If there's people that bothered you during the day that got under your skin, don't take a night where you go to bed without maybe saying out loud, I choose to forgive these people. Why? Because something happens to you in your emotional, and it creates so much stress in your body and stops cortisol from working effectively for you and hormonally affects you, is when you harbor unforgiveness or resentment or bitterness at somebody, it begins to eat away at your health both emotionally, mentally, but physically. And it really starts to hurt you. So even if somebody hurt you during the day, don't allow them to hurt you in the time that you're going to be able to refresh and rejuvenate yourself. Forgive and let that go. We said, I don't feel it. Well, thank God you're not what you feel. You're what you decide. Make the choice to forgive. When you're clearing your mind of your to-do list, make that decision. If anybody got under your skin that day, you're going to forgive and release them. Number 2, set yourself about 30 minutes, a little bit of time, 30 minutes before bedtime. This allows you to take balance, which is in your Jumpstart program. It also allows you, what Mark has really helped me with is, hey, Rex, maybe, have a fat, carb, and protein all in that reveal bar. In fact, I have one right here, right next to my bed. I'm sitting in my bed in Vancouver tonight, and I have an RVL bar right here. Before I go to bed, about a half hour before I go to bed, I will take that. Mark said it's such a great thing because then you don't store fat while you sleep, and correct me if I'm wrong on that, Mark, but it's a way to keep your metabolism moving and working and burning stored fat, and that's what I think every one of us want to do. We don't want to store. We want to burn that. So I've really adopted that, Mark. You taught me about that just privately maybe about 3 months ago, and I'm trying to get peak performance out of my body as a dad and as a businessman, as a speaker that travels a lot. And, that's one thing that I've consistently really done. And as a result, I'm feeling more sustained energy. And I think that
you're looking at Rex. And you're looking at I saw in Atlanta, man, just everyone on the call, I had to interject because Rex was changing and Frank Snowshoe and I were in the room and Rex looked like a shredded piece of meat, man. You are lean and mean, so it's working, brother.
Hey, you know what? No, I will attribute that to, yes, I do exercise in that, but I probably exercise less now than I have been in the past. But one thing that you've really helped me do was really focal point in eating both in threes. That's been a real key, a trigger for me. And also is to adapt and eat in between, because I would find that I was guilty, like probably many of us, where I would just then have massive meals and not consistent meals that worked for my metabolism. So this has also allowed me to sleep better. Mark, truthfully, this has allowed me to sleep tremendously better. And third, and this is going to be a real thing I'm going to give to every person on here, and I pray you'll do it. It will, and then give me feedback. If it does not work for you, then tell Mark and I next week, hey, I did try that. It wasn't a really effective trigger, because we want to give you the best results. Something I think that could really help you is remember what you focus on is what you feel. When most people go to bed, they're focusing on what they got to do tomorrow. They got to focus on what they didn't get done today. They focus on what they don't have. They focus on how worried or stressed their kids. They focus on everything that they don't want to feel. I want to help you take control of your mental focus. That really will give you the edge when you go to bed. And that's going to happen with 3 questions. You say, why questions? Because questions you ask yourself are really the answers you get. And I would like you to really keep by your bed like I do. I keep a little journal and write 3 questions. And then every night for the next 7 nights, do a test and see if it really works for you. The 3 questions are, number 1 that I wrote down is, what am I happy about today? And you say, well, Rex, maybe I had a lousy day. I don't really feel happy about anything. Well, what could you be happy about if you chose to be? Because you could be as happy as you want to be, right? Just like you could be as depressed as you want to be. It's all a matter of focus. So what are you happy about, and how does that make you feel? You might write down 5 things, 3 things. But think about it. It lets you shift the focus of your mind, become like a laser beam on what's great in your life, things that maybe you're excited about, that you're happy about in your life. That lets you feel good. And I'm reminded that the Bible says a happy mind does good like medicine. It actually releases cortisol, releases tension, allows you to rest and rejuvenate. Number 2, I write down the question is, what am I committed to right now? Maybe that's committed to being as a person, a generous person, a lover, a dreamer, a healthy person. I love how Mark teaches that we're after health, not just kicking fat, but, hey, we're a healthy people that have become more healthy. Or maybe I'm committed to being the best, entrepreneur right now, whatever that is. I write down a couple things that I'm committed to. Lets me focus. Then third, I ask this question, what am I grateful for right now? You say that list is endless. Well, good, let's pursue it. What if you wrote down for 3 minutes things you're grateful for in that 30-minute time that you're preparing to go to sleep? You take your take your balance, you take a protein bar, maybe even have some tea, depending on who you are. But you sit there and you go, man, what am I happy about? Number two, what am I committed to? Number three, what am I grateful for? I'm grateful for my health. I'm grateful that I can see. I'm grateful for my kids. I'm grateful for my family, my spouse. I'm grateful for my job. I'm grateful. That doesn't mean you're grateful for everything, all the stress, but you're grateful for what things that are in your life. Think about what that does to you. A grateful heart puts you into a place where you're in ease and you're in peace. And I always think about, after I do these questions, how does that make me feel? Makes you feel delightful, peaceful. It's easy to turn that light off, that TV off, after all that gratitude, and just rest. I think that these are three things that can really boost and turbo start your sleep. Because remember, when you're operating at 6 to 8 hours, 5 nights a week, you're in peak performance mentally. These breakthroughs on these calls are both physiology and psychology. You want an extraordinary life, you're going to have an extraordinary psychology and physiology. These are the tools and the triggers that are going to give you the timeless results you want. So I hope that you'll do something wonderful with them, and this will be a rich and rewarding. Remember, a calm and undisturbed mind are the life and the health of the body. Have an amazing, calm, and undisturbed week. Mark, I'm going to turn this back over to you. Thanks for helping me.
Oh, brother, you are the best, man. I tell you, I get really excited when we talked about these 5-part series of really helping people turbocharge. I love that I can speak to the body, and I love that Rex can speak to the mind, and then we both can cross over, and we both learn so much from each other as we learn from each of you. This is the key, that right now you have the foundation that we set last Thursday. Now we got the sleep working on. So the next 7 days is about continually doing the work that you know with the Jumpstart plan, and now then implementing this new sleep concept. Then next Wednesday, we're going to add a whole nother piece to the equation so we keep building momentum and momentum. So by January 31st, every single person who's living this plan, who's turbocharging their January, jumpstarting their metabolism, will have the tools to permanently win. And come February 1st, we're not going to be a stat. You won't be a stat. You're not going to be the 88% of the population that quits their New Year's resolution by February 1st. No way. You're going to have set the boundaries to win and win and win. Rex and I were in Atlanta this weekend, and we were inspired at the workout this morning, at the workout on Saturday morning. People dropped 60 pounds. 18-year-old girl dropped 15 pounds. Someone who's dropped 120 pounds. A man who's dropped 35 pounds. A lady who dropped 40 pounds. All walks of life, all ages. Everyone is making a commitment to their health, and I want to applaud each of you for being on this webinar and understand that there's many things we can't control in this world. The one thing we can is how we choose to take care of ourselves. So everyone, thanks so much for being on this webcast. Just so that you know, the next 7 days, anyone in all of January that goes to the store, you know where to find it. Go to MonaVie.com, click on products, click on the Reveal Jumpstart. You can get the turbocharge, you can get the whole Jumpstart brochure, the whole booklet that goes with it, and you can get the kit right then, and you can send anyone that wants to join this journey with you in January there, and you get all the free values as well. In addition, stay connected with us. Facebook.com/MonaVie. You see right there, Facebook.com, my page, Rex's page, Twitter as well. Every single day we are posting things. One of us on our accounts are posting things to keep you motivated, keep you in the game. So please make this the moment. Master your sleep. Our goal is for it to raise 3 notches. Now let's do some shout outs before we end the webinar and go to Q&A. Mark Regan, my buddy. I always got to give a shout out to my buddy Mark Regan, one of the best health professionals in all of Canada. Mark, Sherry Ranger, Kelly Bonamo in Chicago. We have Donna Cook. We have Diane Hutchison. We have Danny Kujar. I'm just going to start. I'm going to move all the way up and then work my way down. Anna Maria May, Patricia Gilmore, Betty Howard, Bill Pips, Carol Bill, Carol Owen, Kathy and Carl Firestone, Rocket Rex, they said. Fatima Fatima, it's great that you're on here from the UK. Is Elena, Josic, Monica from Portugal, Janice Friedman, Janine Boyle, Jim Barney, Jim Cantu, Joanne Crawford, Joy Peterson, Joyce Johnson, Laura Burkett, Lee Priest, Lori Hengebach from Tennessee. Hey, Lori. Loris Hoost, Louise Reich. And if I don't pronounce your name right, I'm sorry. Mike Mallow, Mike Mace, Peter Tinsley, Petra Shaw, Rhonda Vignala, Rick Warmoth, Ricky Jensen, Rhonda Chan, Sherry Ranger. Thank you so much for everything you do in Canada. Shelly Burry, Sherry Hoover. Sherry now Hoover, very excited to see you in Vegas in about a week and a half. Sherry Priest, Sue Murphy. Let's do a few more here. Wendy Weaver, our dear friend with corporate that organizes all this. My buddy Tom Goski, right there in New Jersey. William Skipper, and Wendy Thomason, and one more, Trisha Parker. Everybody, I wish I could, our goal is to once again give shout outs to everyone that's as many people as we can on these webcasts. I want to thank you. I know, Rex, did you want to say thank you, my friend, to wrap it up with me?
Yeah, it's an incredible community. This is something that I really, we both love. But I want to say thank you for the privilege to serve you, and I pray this will just be a culture of performance, Mark, where we just see every one of us week in, week out, that 1% daily taking control, and it has a compound effect that let us help you with even throughout the week. Stay in tune and in touch with us so that we can really help drive this performance. MonaVie provides the products, but it's the community, and I think that this interaction that really drives the ongoing success. So congratulations to every one of you.
Perfect. I'm going to end the recording, and I want to leave you with this before we go to the Q&A. Remember, there are no miracle products out there. There are no quick fix, calorie restriction, carb diets that are going to give you permanent results. It takes a mixture of both. You have to have the right plan with the right products and the right mindset. That's why we're here. We have the right plan. We know we have the right products, and we have the right mindset. And that's why this coaching matters. That's why we're all part of this community. Make this your year. You're doing it. Sleep, master it. Until next week. Everybody, thanks so much. If you get off, no worries. I'm going to stop the recording, and then we'll go right to Q&A.